I'm your MSU neighborhood reporter, Colin Jankowski. I've been following the case of an MSU student charged with making threats of violence at the university. Now, a Michigan Supreme Court decision has me asking officials what comes next in the case.
Well, I'm very pleased to see the Supreme Court's ruling.
It was back in February that the Michigan Court of Appeals ruled that Michigan's anti-terrorism law was unconstitutional. The law makes it a crime to issue a terrorist threat or falsely report an act of terrorism. Cooley Law School professor Michael McDaniel knows it well. He helped write the law back in 2002.
One of the issues I'd raised with you, Colin, was that the Michigan Court of Appeals took such a broad construction of the terrorist threats statute that it had to be unconstitutional.
It's the same law used to charge MSU student Hope Duncan in connection to an online threat she allegedly made against the MSU community. Now that the Supreme Court has vacated that ruling and sent it back to the Court of Appeals, McDaniel says these concerns can be addressed on a case-by-case basis.
The trial court must still consider whether or not in each case the verbal actions of the criminal defendant are either fighting words or whether or not they're a true threat.
I reached out to Duncan's attorney, Mike Nichols, for his reaction.
So really, we don't think it changes all that much.
He says he believes his team's approach will remain the same.
All of our arguments, including the argument that what Hope Duncan did was simply not illegal conduct, we think all those arguments are still there.
When Duncan last appeared here in court, her attorneys were given 2 weeks to provide briefs on the constitutionality of the case. That deadline is Thursday, and Nichols tells me that is still the case despite this recent Supreme Court ruling. Now, I've also included our previous coverage in this story on our website, fox47news.com. Here in East Lansing, I'm Colin Jankowski, Fox 47 News.